There's something deeply wrong about coming back from holidays, relaxed, sunburned, mentally healed, only for your server to look at you and say, "Welcome back. Everything is broken." That's exactly what happened to me. So never trust a home lab server that behaves too well. It's just waiting for the right moment to fail and to ruin your vacation. Welcome to a little bit of a different episode of Tech and Fire, where we're gonna look at my mistakes and a funny story of how I managed to almost lose a lot of data. In mid-May, I left for 10 days beach vacation. Before leaving, I was working on testing Olama using Unraid and trying to make it work on this 10-year-old CPU, trying to convince it to go and run on the integrated APU that I have on this AMD Ryzen 5. So at 11 p.m, the day before leaving for my holidays, I realized that my server started to behave strangely. I tried to do a little bit of troubleshooting by turning off Docker containers, turning off Docker services altogether, turning off the only VM that I had running Home Assistant, and it was all for nothing because I could not identify what the issue was. I tried to ask ChatGPT, Perplexity for some advice, and a lot of the symptoms were pointing to a failing USB stick. So I left for holidays, leaving only 2 containers running on my server, namely Cloudflare and Bitwarden for my password manager. What I did, I also ordered 2 USB sticks that were supposed to replace my old Samsung USB stick that was connected 24/7 to this Unraid server for the last 9 years, right? So I left. Cocktails on the beach, zero stress, pretending technology didn't exist. After 10 days of this denial, I got back home, dropped my suitcases, and immediately started to enter the full fix-it mode. Check logs, smart data on the hard drives, trying to isolate what the hell was going on and what was causing all these issues. So what was the problem? The biggest problem was that the CPU would randomly spike and stay at 100%. So it was 10% and then the next second 100%, and it was staying there for I don't know, 1 minute, 2 minutes, something like this. Absolutely no reason. I thought, okay, maybe it's just some container that is indexing some files, no big deal. Try restart. Restarts were taking forever, and you know that feeling when you reboot a server and you're suddenly staring at the BIOS screen a little bit too long. So I decided to troubleshoot some more, stopped all my containers, CPU was still spiking. Disabled Docker services, CPU was still randomly crashing. I know that it's still doing that every now and then right now, but this is mostly because right now it's also running a parity check. So with Docker completely ruled out, the ultimate suspect was the USB stick. When that flash storage starts failing, it can cause slow boots, random hangs, and a lot of I/O waiting times that could make your CPU melt. So my plan was clear. I had 2 of my brand new USB sticks, plug one in, and fix this USB stick that obviously it was failing. So the plan was good, the execution was a bit of a catastrophe. While trying to move things and to create an appdata backup using an Unraid web UI which was extremely unresponsive for good reason, CPU was obviously maxed out, and while also trying to fix the system, I made a pretty bad mistake that I still cannot fully explain how it happened and what I clicked. I have to say that I'm suspecting also that my cache pool might have a defective drive, and in the process of trying to create a backup for my appdata, I think I triggered mover, which ultimately somehow wiped my whole appdata folder. So in a second, Nextcloud, Immich, rstuck, reverse proxy, Cloudflare, databases, all gone. And before you ask, no, I did not have any backups. I know you are allowed to judge me, because apparently I was running self-hosted infrastructure held together only by confidence and good luck. I know about the 3-to-1 backup rule. These 3 copies of your data, 2 different media types, 1 offsite copy. I did 0. I had 0 backup, 0 planning, and 1 mental breakdown when I saw that my appdata folder was gone. For anyone that is new to Unraid or Docker, let me explain. Just briefly, your Docker containers are just shells of your apps. If you lose the container, no big deal, you just pull it again. But your app data, this is where all your configs, databases, and where all the settings for all the containers live. So it's your configuration for everything Docker related. Luckily for me, all the data inside the array was intact. So I didn't lose any important data like my photos or my documents. And to be honest, so I thought this should be relatively easy. I also have Docker containers which are pretty old. I was considering updating some of them. How difficult could this be? What followed was a brutal 2 weeks reconstruction project where every evening after work, every weekend, I just spent rebuilding containers one by one. And look, I love Unraid. And listen, videos from Space Invader 1, Ibra Corp, and Alien Tech are amazing. Those guys are absolute legends. They are the reasons why I like Unraid so much. But during this process, I discovered something that I had completely forgotten. I hate installing Docker containers from scratch on Unraid. I truly hate it. And not because Docker itself is bad, but because every application has its own weird little rituals. And none of my custom environment variables or paths were written down or saved somewhere. So let's start this part of the video by looking at what I'm running in this resurrected home lab that I have right here and discuss a little bit some of the pains. The most important one. Let's start with Nextcloud. Why on earth is Nextcloud so complicated? Why does installing what is basically Dropbox but self-hosted feel like performing ancient forbidden magic or some kind of weird voodoo rituals? So to get it working, you need a database, you need Redis caching, you need reverse proxies, SSL certificates, permissions, trusted domains, maybe some cron jobs. And if there's one tiny thing that is slightly off, it doesn't give you a helpful error message. It just breaks white page of death. And on top of that, every single tutorial online is slightly outdated. So rebuilding Nextcloud feels like a speedrun of everything that annoys me about self-hosting. The only thing that I managed to make it work was to give up on, setting it up separately on a database and Redis container, and I just installed an all-in-one container, and that's it. Get it over with. Now let's talk about the R stack next. These are applications like Sonar, Radar, Overseer, Prowler, Notifier, Jellyfin, and your preferred downloader. Obviously, Plex is not here because no more Plex, no more subscriptions, and Jellyfin is as good, if not better than Plex for 0 money. But this is not about Plex. This stack of applications, they work beautifully. Only if your shared paths are configured correctly. If your container path mappings don't match perfectly across all these apps, everything breaks silently. Sonar is saying download it, but it can import the file. Radar can't find the completed file. You spend 3 hours debugging logs like an archaeologist decoding ancient ruins, only to discover, oh, I missed / in the volume mapping. Lovely. Cloudflare. This was my go-to plug-and-play network appliance, let's call it. This was easy to configure. This was what I thought is like, at least I know how to configure Cloudflare. When you log into Cloudflare, after a long time, let's say 6 to 8 months, you realize that nothing is there anymore. In terms of user interface, Cloudflare is changing their interface every 6 months. They're trying to win in a competition. So whatever video tutorial you have on YouTube from 6 to 8 months ago, you suddenly realize that the buttons in that video do not exist anymore in Cloudflare when you're trying to configure tunnels, DNS entries and so on. Now, next, let's talk Immich. I love Immich. Compared to Nextcloud, this is great software. But because it's evolving so fast, their database structure changed recently, meaning that half of the YouTube tutorials out there are completely outdated. You follow the steps exactly, and then boom, you have some Postgres error. I have migrations which are not working. And just to give you an example, thumbnail generation and face recognition took me about 4 days each to run again from scratch on my AMD Ryzen 5 4560G CPU. The lesson. What did I learn from this emotional support? What would have saved me weeks of pain? Very few simple things. Backup your app data. Seriously, just use community apps, backup and restore, plug in, schedule it, send it to another disk, external drive, cloud, whatever. Test your Unraid USB and keep a backup of it. And why not have a stupid spare USB stick somewhere in a drawer, because these things fail. Yes, I know. With the latest version of Unraid, we can run Unraid on an SSD or a ZFS pool. But as you can see, I'm still running 7.2.5 because I did not have the confidence to also upgrade the operating system in the middle of this mess. At some point I will, but not today. I need to still put some things in order, clean up some mess, and maybe I will update at some point. So my server is finally working again for now, and if this horror stories saves even one of you from wiping your app data or trusting your dying USB stick, then at least my 2 weeks of suffering did some good. So what next? Now that my main server is up and running again, I will start going back to my tentative publishing schedule and focus a little bit more on Hermes, Ollama, and WebUI, and try to make it run on this relatively old hardware, see if I can make it. I noticed that some of you already mentioned in the comment section that the Hermes video that I put a few weeks ago, it's already outdated. Of course it is. These things evolve relatively fast. So I'll try to revisit that one and maybe combine it with Ollama and WebUI. So you can have like a basic AI home lab self-hosted. If you want to see other Unraid focused tutorials, let me know in the comment sections below what topics would be of interest. And until next time, all the best, and I hope your home lab is running better than mine. See you.